Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be going over the top counters to go up against Mega Venusaur, Mega Charizard, and Mega Blastoise for the raids that we do have, as well as discussing, do you actually need these Mega Pokemon? Are they going to be helping you perform that much better? Is it actually worth all this investment to get them? Or they're going to just be simply better other options, or even other options that are not going to be performing as good, but almost as good, and just, go with those. Taking a look at Venusaur here, including Shadow Pokemon, you're going to have Shadow Mewtwo at the top with Psystrike, Shadow Moltres, regular Mewtwo with Confusion and Psystrike, Shadow Metagross with Zen Headbutt and Psychic, and then you're going to have that Charizard Y finally pulling up. You're going to have Mewtwo above it, which is not even a shadow, and then you have the other shadows above it there. So yes, it is going to be good up against Venusaur, but at the same time, you're going to have other things that are going to be outperforming them. Then taking a look at the next page, we have Mega Charizard X, which is, it's not going to be doing that. It's going to be doing good, but is it worth all that investment? I know for the initial evolution, it is going to cost a lot, and then after that, it's going to be reduced. Then you're going to have Reshiram, Shadow Exeggutor, Mega Pidgeot, which is not going to be introduced quite yet, but I'm going to talk about that and what I think. And then you're going to have Shadow Charizard, so looking pretty good. Moving it on to the next page here, no shadows and megas and legendaries included. You're going to have Charizard Y, #1 spot there. It is going to be pulling up a little bit faster than the Mewtwo, but not super significant. But it will help you beat it faster. Then you have regular Mewtwo with Psystrike, and then you have Charizard X, all the Charizards with Blast Burn, of course, Reshiram, and then Pidgeot. Now, I think Pidgeot's going to be introduced in the way Meryl was, maybe, potentially, we'll see, and maybe even for the Flying Cup for the premiere. We'll have to see how all that goes, but hey, we'll see. Maybe, maybe not, but nonetheless, there are your counters there, and then you're going to have Moltres with Sky Attack in that #6 spot. Then moving on to #7, you're going to have Darmanitan and then Victini, and if you did not go to GoFest or buy the ticket or anything like that, you're going to be able to get Victini at the end of September, so look forward to that for everybody, and if you already completed it, you'll get the candies. And then you're going to have Metagross with Zen Headbutt and Psychic, and then Heatran. I like to use Metagross as an anchor. You can also use Heatran as an anchor to go up against Mega Venusaur because it does resist everything. I just like Metagross is doing a little bit more damage. Going up against Mega Blastoise, you have Shadow Raikou up in the #1 spot, Shadow Magnezone, Shadow Zapdos with Thunder Shock, so that has to be the move. And then you're going to have Shadow Electivire, Mega Venusaur, and then Zekrom. So Mega Venusaur is going to be getting outperformed by the Shadow Pokemon. Shadow Pokemon are just crazy strong. Let me just look at it. Look at this. You thought Megas were? Nah. Shadows are where it's really at. Just goes to show, do you really need these Mega Pokemon? And then moving it on to the #7 spot, you do have Shadow Mewtwo with Thunderbolt. And then you're going to have Electivire, then Shadow Venusaur, regular Magnezone, Shadow Exeggutor, and then regular Raikou for those spots there. So, I mean, as you can see, the Megas are doing something here, but the Shadows and even other Pokemon are just going to be kind of neck to neck, and it's almost not worth the investment. It's not almost, it's really not worth the investment. This is just like a fun factor here. I'm just very excited for my first 2 videos, guys. So, I mean, yeah, we'll get into that more here in just a moment. So taking a look at no Shadow Pokemon, you're going to have Mega Venusaur. So finally, we see a Mega at that #1 spot going up against another Mega, or just in a #1 spot in general. So it is going to be taking it out pretty fast compared to the Zekrom. I mean, it's not that much faster, but it is going to be helping you boost that time. And then you're going to have Electivire, Magnezone, Raikou, and then Zapdos, of course, with the Thunder Shock. So as far as the Megas are concerned, so far the most useful one, it looks like Venusaur to go up against Blastoise if you're looking to get the best time possible. Because as we know, the faster you take them out, the more of these Mega Candies, Mega Energy you're going to be getting for your Mega Pokemon. And then in the #7 spot, you have Luxray, and then Roserade, Mewtwo with Thunderbolt, then Sceptile with Community Day Move, and then Venusaur. Alright, so going on to Charizard Y, this is going to be a very easy one here. Basically, just throw rocks at this thing. It is going to be Fire and Flying, so both of those are going to be weak to Rock. #1 is going to be Rampardos with Smackdown and Rock Slide, and then Tyranitar Shadow with Smackdown and Stone Edge. So Rampardos is going to be outperforming a Shadow Pokemon, which is Just goes to show how intensely strong that Pokemon is with that moveset. Then you have Rhyperior with the Rock Wrecker and Smackdown, Terrakion, Shadow Omanyte with Rock Throw and Rock Slide, and then regular Tyranitar with Smackdown and Stone Edge. And then you have Gigalith, which is pretty interesting. If you have a shiny, go for it. Aerodactyl, Omnistar, and Landorus, Alolan Golem, and then regular Golem for those other positions there. Moving on to No Shadows, you have number 1 is going to be Rhyperior with Smackdown and Rock Wrecker. And the reason why it's picking that is because it is going to be just a bulkier, more safe option to save you resources. But when you're looking for time to win, it is going to be Rampardos for sure. And then Terrakion, Tyranitar, Gigalith in that number 5 spot, and then Aerodactyl. Moving on to number 7, you have Omnistar, then Alolan Golem, regular Golem, Landorus, Blastoise, Mega. So, hey, give it a break. It's because the rocks are so strong against the flying and the fire typing, and that's why it's going to be placed there. First water type to be shown on the list. And then moving it on to Charizard X, we're going to see number 1, Salamence, Shadow, and then Shadow Dragonite, regular Rayquaza, Palkia, and then Salamence, and then finally we have Tyranitar Shadow. All right, so looking at Palkia, that is actually going to be a pretty awesome option if it does have fire moves, because you're going to be massively resisting it. And then you also have Rayquaza, which we have a ton of those powered up. Not too many people have a maxed out Shadow Dragonite or Salamence at that. I have a couple ready to go. I just need to wait for the community day in December if we do get that. Number 7 is going to be Zekrom, and then number 8, Garchomp. Number 9, Rampardos, 10, Reshiram, 11, Rhyperior, and then 12, Dragonite. So you still have plenty of options, and the Megas are mean. You have none. You have none. Blastoise is not going to be it, because this thing is going to be part Dragon, therefore not completely weak to water. And then without any shadows, number 1 is going to be Rayquaza, and then you're going to have Palkia. Again, is going to be a great option there, of course, with Draco Meteor and Dragon Tail. And then you're going to have Salamence, Zekrom, Garchomp, and Rampardos. Personally, for myself, I was just going in there with the full team at Rampardos. I don't know why I wasn't using Dragon. I eventually switched it all over to those Rayquaza and Palkia, and I was good to go. But otherwise, I was, yeah, could have probably helped get a little bit faster time on taking those down. So there you have the first list for those. Moving it on to the next one, you do have Reshiram in that number 7 spot, and then Rhyperior, Dragonite, Haxorus, if you do have one of those powered up, Dialga, and then Latios. So there you have the counters for those guys. I understand there's a lot of concern whether or not this is something that is ethical by Niantic. They're just going for a hard money grab for something that they know we all wanted from the get-go, right? You know, Mega Evolutions, I mean, everybody's going to get hype. So more on that here in just a second. So the faster you take these out, the more of that Mega Energy you are going to be able to get. So if you have a bunch of people in there, obviously you're going to be taking it out quick. You don't need the best counters in the world. I mean, yeah, you know, you do, but at the same time, you don't need to go that extra mile for those Mega Evolutions. When you're going to want to use these Mega Evolutions is going to be when you have lesser people, right? I mean, now the nice thing about Megas, I know I was kind of being a little harsh on them a minute ago when we were taking a look at that stuff, but the thing is, they're going to be increasing the types for everybody to do more damage. So say you throw in a Blastoise, water type, you're going to increase the water type damage that everybody is going to be doing to, say, a Charizard Y. Or if you're using a Charizard Y, the flying and fire typing is going to be boosted for all the trainers. So that is the extra bonus that is not being shown in the simulators here, that is actually going to increase your time. So it is going to be a very nice multiplier that is going to help you take down those raid bosses a little bit faster. So that is, you know, something that the Megas do have going on for them. Now, with that said, are they worth it at the end of the day for what you have to do? So say you raid all those raids to initially get the 200 energy, and then you finally evolve it, and then again you're going to have to do this with 50 more later on, which could potentially just be one raid if you do it under like 45 seconds, I do believe is the reward that they do give you. It's not quite there, folks. Yes, I understand something's got to give. You're voicing your opinion to Niantic. Just keep doing what you got to do, and we'll see. Hopefully we can see changes. I do have a few ideas here that we will be talking about later on.